those development charges. Now, there are reasons for them that are valid. You do need to support the infrastructure. You need to support the sewage system and the water systems and the hydro systems and all these. Like, you have to pay for that somewhere. So there has to be some form of development charges. However, they've probably gotten to a point now where they could be taken a look at. And if the government if their stated goal is to encourage more development, then that would be an area that would be beneficial. And I think, there's some regions are looking at that right now as an opportunity, and we'll see if that changes in the new year.
How do you see the evolving needs of businesses shaping the commercial market?
Great question. I think we're seeing, the big story right now is office space in particular, because everybody had to go home during COVID, and that changed the way people work. And I believe, my gut says, is there's going to be a continued trend back to office space, where the economy is shifting a little bit here. Businesses are having to be a little more focused on their overhead, and they have to be efficient. And I find it very difficult. There are some roles that probably work really well remotely for businesses, but there's a lot of strategy and a lot of discussion and a lot of efficiency of having a group of people work in a space together, where you can just turn to your coworker and say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Or, "Oh, I've got an issue with this. How should we solve it?" Or, "Oh, I just came up with an idea. What do you think?" That's how things are evolved. That's how progress is made. And it's difficult to do that. You can turn on a Zoom and maybe get your team together once a day on a Zoom call and try and have that. But that more natural, ability just to have a quick conversation or an idea pops in your head, you can't do that while you're sitting at your dining room table and working. And that affects businesses. And so I feel that businesses will start to bring people back. I know that Amazon, as of I think January 1st, have said that they expect everybody back in the office. That's a big business.
100%, like
100%.
Yeah.
I believe that's the case. And I know there's other companies that are taking that stance.
More efficient for the businesses and for the country and for the economy.
I think so too. There's a lot of positives. And so back to the office space concept, I think that as we bring more people back to work, offices will refill up. People will go back to that. So I think office in the long term will be okay, but right now it's struggling for sure. Retail seems to be very strong. Right now, we're seeing a lot of new restaurants in the GTA, come in. I don't know if you've noticed, driving around. There was a time there, of course, because so sad that the restaurant industry just felt, I would say, the biggest hit, during COVID, where people couldn't dine in restaurants for months and months on end. And so they really felt that. Now you see new restaurants being built, so I think that's great. Even though there's a lot of online shopping, talking about Amazon, people like the experience of going out to, touch and feel and see and try on and have that interactive experience of shopping. And, if Yorkdale Shopping Center is any indication, this weekend in particular coming, you won't be able to move in the place. People want that, clearly. They're not all sitting at home buying their holiday gifts online. So that's a interesting area. And then the other side of it is industrial is doing very well, and multifamily investment properties are doing well too.
In terms of retail, one trend I've noticed is that a lot of stores actually shutting down, even in big malls like Yorkdale or Baby Village. I've seen like big stores shutting down because, let's say, in Baby Village, I saw a few of the stores, they're no longer there. Like big stores, like Gap, for example, was there for the past, 20 years, a huge store.
Yeah.
And they shut down. I was surprised. A low end kind of like affordable clothing store like Gap is closing down in Baby Village. That's kind of an indication of, things are shifting to online mostly.
I think in certain product types it might be. I don't know if I would take that particular store closing as a indicator of the overall state of the market. I would say that there's going to be fewer Gap stores probably on the planet as things progress and online shopping becomes even more available to everybody. However, they're also just getting probably more efficient with their spaces. So they're finding, they'll be looking at every store and saying, do we really need a Gap store in Bayview Village anymore? Right? That area may not be driving, maybe that brand in that location in that mall is not, customer. People aren't coming to Bayview Village thinking about the Gap. And so that might be more of an example of that, either demographic shift or repositioning in the market and moving that location or consolidating that with another spot where they know that they don't need as many stores as they did. They certainly don't need as many stores as they did 20 years ago, that's for sure. And that'll continue to evolve.
That makes sense. You led through market highs and lows. What strategies have helped you stay resilient during challenging times?
So it's, I think, knowing the fact that that real estate ebbs and flows. So you have to just embrace that reality that it's going to you're going to have good times and you're going to have bad times. But ultimately, we know that whether it's good times or bad times, people need to buy and sell real estate. And so you have to adjust very quickly to the reality of the market. That's one thing that is super important. If you're sitting around hoping for the good days while the days aren't so good, you're really going to...
You have to build the good days.
Yes, exactly, right? You have to take the bad days and make them good in a way, right? You have to figure out, who needs our help in the tougher markets? How can I help those folks that need our advice? And really understand the market. So we invest a ton of time and money every year in research so that we're very, very knowledgeable about market trends, what's happening in the market, what the data is telling us. And so if you're able to understand that, you can really help people make great decisions. And that's what we want to do. So that's what we focus on in good markets and tough markets. That's really our focus. And so if you approach it that way and really approach it from a place of education, which is how we really like to, help people, you're really going to have success. Might not be as exciting as it was in the busy times, but you're still going to be able to navigate through the tough times.
One thing I noticed is that 2024 was obviously a tough year for everybody. Mm-hmm. You guys doubled down on education, doubled down on, marketing. I noticed like more events like Tom Ferry, like Richard Robbins, like Phil Jones. We had a lot of educational seminars or conferences. So that was very valuable. My opinion.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, and that's it. When this is a very dynamic business, and the more we know, the better service we can provide our clients. And so coming into 2024, we were excited because we felt that the Bank of Canada might drop their rates in 2024. It didn't happen until the second half of the year. So it ended up being overall not a really busy year in real estate. But what we knew was that if we could really bring great education to our team and really inspire everybody and give them great tools to help their clients, it would help us get through the tough year. And that's why we made that investment.
Fantastic. I've noticed a lot of realtors are going out of the business. This year alone, I think 10,000 agents didn't renew their licenses. Mm-hmm. Do you see the same trends for brokerages? Are there a lot of brokerages going out of the business as well?
There are. We've started to see a few brokerages get either absorbed into others or closed. Not many yet, but a few. We're keeping our eye on 2025. I think there's going to be more people leave the industry as we transition into 2025. There is, and because of the transaction volume, there's a lot of agents for not a lot of transactions, a lot of licensed agents for not a lot of transactions. And so if transaction volume doesn't grow dramatically, which I think it's going to grow, but I don't think it's going to grow at a huge pace, I think we'll start to see more people make a decision
out.
dropping out, because it's expensive to maintain a real estate license if you're not getting the results that you hope. Yeah.
I agree. How do you foster innovation within your team at Realty Signature?
We've always known that to be a successful business, and this is in any industry, you've got to always be looking forward to where things are heading. And so we are big fans of technology and always have been. So when, back in 1994, when the internet first started percolating, we had a website. And it was basically, I guess, a digital calling card is all they were back then, because you couldn't actually get listings didn't exist on the internet. As soon as they did, we had them on our website. And so we really always were seeing where things are heading and keeping our eyes open for where things are going, and looking for technology to enhance our customer experience and make our business more efficient. And so we do that all the time. We're always looking for great ideas, because if you ever get to a point where you're not evolving, then your business is, not moving forward.
So either growing or you're going down.
You got it. Yeah.
What do you think AI is going to do for us in 2025 at Realty Signature?
It's going to make us more efficient, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. We're using AI to help us craft really strong messages, getting better at that, becoming more efficient with it. We're using AI we're starting to use AI to analyze data. And so we're using it to analyze local market data. We're using it to analyze competitors' data. We're really starting to explore more and more how that's going to be beneficial. And I think we're also using it, in our websites. There's AI happening in the background to help the consumer experience be better and better for them as well. And so I think that's something that you'll see more and more of, and it'll just get better and more effective. So I'm not worried about AI being, taking over the world. What I do see happening is it's going to help us become way more efficient. And so, from that standpoint, if you're not using AI versus somebody who is, they're just going to be able to accomplish more in the same or in a shorter period of time. And so when you become more efficient in your business, you become more successful.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing the difference.
Yes.
Already, it's been like a little bit over a year where this AI ChatGPT is available to everybody, and you see the improvements in all communications, marketing, and even lead generations. I get a lot of companies who reach out for like lead generation and all of that. So
it's going to be a great tool, and it just makes, as I say, just more efficiency in all areas.
I agree. For someone looking to break into a career in real estate, what skills or traits do you think are most important?
I think having an interest in people, so an ability to communicate well, not being afraid to talk to people, because you're going to get told no a lot. No, thank you.
A
lot of rejection. So I think having great communication skills is really, really valuable. And just enjoying working with people. Like you really do. Like I said it at the start, I'll say it again. Like if you don't enjoy working with people and all that comes with that, you're going to find it difficult, to be in this business. So I think you really do. I think that helps. Now you can learn people skills. You can become a better communicator. You can learn how to enhance your ability to communicate with people. So that's important. And you have to really be, I think in this day and age, really be interested in the details, in the market stats, in understanding trends, in really educating yourself about what's going on in the marketplace so that you can help consumers make really great decisions. There's so much data available out there. There's too much, right? You're getting, on your phone, your phone, you're getting constant barrage of headline after headline after headline of all different
bombarded
of information. But what does it all mean? How does it, if you're trying to make a decision on buying, selling, or investing in real estate, how does that affect your decision? And so I think you really have to embrace this idea of I have to now become an expert in market data. So if you embrace that and get really good at that, I think you're going to do great. And then the last thing, of course, is the services around buying and selling real estate are quite complex. So you have to really engage in that and be interested in attention to detail. And if you do that, I think you're going to be great.
And Royal LePage Signature is the best for that. You guys are educating us.
Yes,
I love it. All those signature lives that we have and market updates and all the information that you provide on weekly basis. It's very invaluable.
Thank you. I appreciate the plug. That's very kind.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
It always takes longer than you think to reach your goals. But, however, if you stick with it, you'll get there. And I think patience is tough. Patience is really hard when you are young. At any age, really, I think patience is tough. But especially when you're younger and you're going as fast as you can. You want it. And now with this day and age, with social media and all these images of fancy things and lifestyles and this successful person, everybody wants this thing. But it's that behind the scenes patience of every day getting up and doing the necessary tasks in whatever industry you're in to grow. And that if you stick with it, it may feel slow over time, but it's going to start to pick up, and then all of a sudden you'll see growth. But if you're jumping around and you're not, if you're trying to rush things, I think you'll find that it'll be challenging for you.
We all have good days and we have bad days. How do you keep yourself motivated through bad days? Like, how have you been doing it earlier and now?
Yeah, great question. It's difficult. I think we know that life is a challenge every day. However, if we can find a way, if we can find something that we enjoy doing, which is super important. So I love the business. Like it doesn't feel like work to me in the term of work. I love it. So if you find something you love doing, whatever it is, just that helps. On the tough days, that there are good days around the corner, and you just kind of brush off and keep moving forward, because that if we keep moving forward and doing the activities, we're going to brighter days will come. And we're human. So it's okay to acknowledge that, I'm not having a great day, right? That's okay. What can I do? Tomorrow's going to be a better day. Maybe I'll go for a walk. Maybe I'll get some fresh air. Maybe I'll, go to the gym or go see some friends or go to a movie, or just to, get away from that negative loop you can sometimes find yourself in, and really, trying to reset your mindset, I think helps. But you have to find something you really enjoy, and that's what I would say. If you're really struggling to find enjoyment in whatever you're doing, that to me would be a sign that you've got to really assess. Hey, is there a better option out there for me? And it has nothing to do about money or success or whatever. It's just personal enjoyment, because you won't have the ability to do something long-term enough to create that success that you might think you want if you're really not enjoying what you're doing. So find what you love and work hard on it.
That's the most important piece. I appreciate that. What excites you most about the future of real estate in Canada?
It's going to grow. Like there's so much growth that is going to happen in this country over the next 10, 20, 30 years. And everybody needs somewhere to live. So we've got that, and there's new technology coming. There's new construction designs. There's new dynamic buildings being built. There's new green energy, ideas that are coming that are going to be more environmentally friendly. It's just exciting. Like there's so much happening. It's the largest part of the Canadian economy is around real estate. And so to be a part of that is super exciting. And I think that if you're in a place that's growing, it's a great place to be.
I agree. So we're not going to be the 51st state.
I don't think so. But hey, who knows?
Hopefully not. How do you see technology and sustainability impacting the industry over the next decade?
I think there's going to be a lot of innovation. Innovation in the next decade. I think we're just getting warmed up. And so whether it's AI making things more efficient, making searches for consumers better, delivering more efficient better information to them on the construction side, I think we're going to see more and more environmentally sensitive developments coming online. We're going to get better at designing suites or homes. We're going to get better at using better products for construction. And it's going to be an exciting time. And I think the design element of it, I enjoy design. I think it's fascinating how, I'm not a designer. It's not my forte, but I have a real interest in design and how, these incredibly bright, architects, interior designers, space planners come up with incredible evolution of space and how it's used. And I think it's going to be amazing what we're going to see. And, the most successful, when you're out and about now and you see a new restaurant and you see how well it's designed and how they're creating experiences for people. And I think that's really an exciting, opportunity over the next decade.
I agree. Since we're in the holiday season, why don't you share a memorable holiday memory with us?
That's a great question. I think the greatest holiday memories are with family, right? And I think that's when we, our industry and our family's been in it for decades now. It doesn't really slow down. Right, so we always hear stories of people buying and selling homes on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and so it doesn't stop, and so that's kind of exciting. But it does give you an opportunity, whether you celebrate Christmas or not. This time of year, kids are out of school, so the families are around. Often businesses slow down, and so you have a bit of a pause or a moment to just enjoy friends and family, and those are the greatest memories for me.
Nice. Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Your insight into the real estate industry are truly invaluable. Before we wrap up, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the listeners?
I'd just say thank you so much for having me. Congratulations on your podcast. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I look forward to watching many of your episodes in the future.
Thank you.